Hey everyone, welcome back. And yet another episode which can shift the way you think. Essentially, the way you live depends upon the way you think. And it's not something new that I'm telling you. However, I'm giving you ways and means and tips and tricks to think differently so that you can live differently. The life, the planet Earth, the air, the water, the political situation almost is same for everyone. And yet, some of us often get highly troubled by the same roads that others travel from, right? This happened some time back when I was traveling on a busy Mumbai road. I'm from Mumbai and I've spent 40 years of my life in Mumbai. So I was just traveling and I was sitting next to the person who was driving the car and we were chatting. And then there was a signal. And I realized it would easily take 6 to 7 minutes for us to cross that signal because the signal was of 2 minutes. And we were pretty far away behind. And anyway, we were getting a little late for the assignment that we had to reach out for. And I was a little agitated and I was just kind of a bit restless whether we would make it or not on time because I like to be punctual. And the person who was driving started singing beautifully from his heart. And so beautifully he started singing. And, in those days, we didn't have air conditioned car, all of us. So we had old Fiat and he started singing. So obviously, people around, they stopped honking and started listening to him. And it became a kind of a lovely road show. And everybody's, found themselves in a different mood now. How people get agitated in busy street. And I was a little embarrassed, little taken back that, are we drawing unnecessary attention? He says, I don't care who looks at me and who doesn't. I just want to spend this time beautifully and I want to enjoy because I'm very happy in this moment. He said, this is amazing. You have a choice of getting upset. You have a choice of getting ruffled. You have a choice of screaming and shouting at the government for not managing the traffic well. You can shout at people who delayed your departure. You can do so many things. And you also have a choice of making the best out of those few minutes that you might get because of the red light on the street. Now, that's all about the attitude, isn't it? If we have a different attitude, we can look at the things in a different way. The choice is certainly ours. We can choose to be fine, be happy, irrespective of what happens around you, or you could just keep grumbling. Unfortunately, grumbling has become very fashionable. It looks smart when you just raise your voice and find flaws in the system and say, hey, this is not right, that is not right, they couldn't have done this, the roads are dark, and that they should have planned the city in a better way. And it's not just about the traffic on the road. It's about everything in life, right from the morning, the milkman, whether he comes on time or not, to the newspaper, or till bedtime, looking at the last news of the day, and you can have enough to grumble about. And there are so many news, so many events that may feel very, very troublesome because troubles don't need invitations, they are always there. Okay, you don't have to give formal invitation. And yet we often give invitation when we want to get troubled. Now, are you surprised? Well, the day you get into a grumpy mood, you get up in the morning in a grumpy mood, and you'll have trouble from unexpected sources, including your washing machine or a mixer grinder, or the gas cylinder gets over that day, or suddenly you realize there's not enough grocery to make today's meal. And it can go on and on and on. And then the nice series of troubles will follow you. And the day can end in trouble. And before it ends, I think we have enough troubles, not only for us, for many more people, because it's also contagious. A troubled person will step out of the room and will trouble the family members, will trouble the liftman, will trouble the watchman, will trouble the cabman, can trouble anybody on the road, and also trouble the staff members. And by the time you come home, you've spread this trouble enough. And we're very good at spreading things like this. And also, opposite is true. If you decide to be calm and patient, you will plan your day accordingly. And interestingly, when you remain calm and peaceful, you always have creative ideas. Okay, so the mixer is not working. Which recipe should I try? Where I can cook something without the need for the mixer. Or washing machine not working, no worries. I can collect it and do it over a weekend. Or I can do it no with in a friend's washing machine, or just there are public laundries available. Do it over there. It's okay. And so on and so forth. But if you calm down, if you're not calm, and if you are in a crazy reactionary phase, then you will add to the trouble. 80% of the troubles you go through are not necessary. That's been invited and created at the subconscious level because you want to get trouble. And why would anybody get or want to get trouble? Just a sec. Sorry. So, why would somebody want to get trouble? Because you just want to experience what is it to be grumpy, and when you get trouble, you think that you grow in a better way, you find solutions in a better way, you can throw around your weight, you can show your power to others, you can remove old frustrations which you didn't get a chance earlier, and now you use it to trouble your soft targets or use this as an excuse to avoid what you really need to do. And what is it that we avoid? We avoid loving relationships. We avoid peaceful space. We avoid enjoyment. We avoid having great time. We avoid fun time. And you wonder why? Oh, there are more people who do that than people who try and avoid troubles. We run into the troubles head on so many times because that's what we believe. We believe that life is so difficult, life is so much problematic. It's not easy for me to go out and earn. And women in the house would say it's not easy to manage a kitchen and children. See how much of trouble I go through. And a man would say, well, you don't know how much trouble I go through. And then seniors in the house would say, you guys don't know how much trouble I go through. And children would say, you don't know how much trouble we go through and how much our teacher troubles us and children bully us. So we're all really excited telling how much trouble we are. And it seems we take kind of a pride in being troubled and coping up with troubles. And it gives such a big ego boost that, that we look forward to that adrenaline rush. Every time you manifest a trouble and you cope up with excess adrenal pumping in the blood, we get so used to. And then, we take a pride that, look, it's only me who could cope up. Others probably wouldn't have managed even, you know. Because of this troubled life, I have become what I am. See, you guys, you've had it in platter. You don't even know what is it to go through troubles. I used to walk miles to go to my school, and I used to wash my own clothes, and I used to make my food, and I used to serve for the whole family, and then go and study. And in the night, I would sit under the street lamps and then study, because I didn't want to disturb my family members, and they wouldn't allow me to waste electricity over my education. So I used to go out and sit under the street lamp with the biting mosquitoes. Would you guys do it? See, I've done it. Have you heard similar dialogues? I've heard enough. Okay. And unknowingly, I also had fallen in trap. You know, one fine day I realized I didn't need to do all this. It's okay to have a comfortable life. I can have extra time for myself. I can meditate extra. I can enjoy extra. I can spend some more time with my family members and loved ones. I can make a couple of more phone calls to catch up with my friends, catch up with my family members who are away from me. I can read some nice books. I can write something interesting. I can listen to some lovely song if I have some extra spare time. And if you're ready to allow the comforts in your life, you will figure out the ways and means to ensure that you have enough comfort. It's like they say, nobody can make you happy if you choose not to be happy. And the reverse is also true. Okay. So, same way, if you choose to be in trouble, nobody can take away troubles from you. They'll take away one trouble, you'll invent another one. When they take away the second trouble, you'll invent the third trouble, and it will continue happening in your life. How about imagining or visualizing your life, which is peaceful, lovely, trouble free, smooth? I'm not saying that there would not be any trouble. Troubles would be there. It's how you want to perceive. Yeah. There would be a red light on the street, there would be a speed breaker on the street, and would you say, oh my God, I can't speed up because of them? No. You would be happy that there is some management on the road. That's why we are safe today. There would be a queue. Would you see that queue as a trouble, or would you see that queue as a boon to you? It's up to you. So there are so many things which are there. These are the facts of life. Do you see that as trouble? You step out and see hot sun, burning your skin. Would you find yourself troubled, or would you be grateful that because of the sun, today my life is so comfortable? There would be rains. Would you feel troubled because of the rains, or would you be grateful to the rains? What if there are no rains in the city or in the country? Okay. So again, there's so many things. You can choose to be troubled, not to be troubled. The intent of leading a trouble-free life would go a long way. Not only that, the intent to continue growing in a trouble-free way would go still further. Because half the time we believe that because of the troubles and coping up with the troubles, you become stronger, more powerful, and more effective in life. What if you can do that in an easy and effortless way? Trust there are so many people who sleep on the street, get barely good meal, have no educational privileges. They're fully troubled from our perspective. They may not be, but we see them troubled. They're not the ones who are growing necessarily, right? Routine life. The growth is not always proportional to the troubles you go through. However, it's your choice of growth. which creates and facilitates your growth. Now, you associate growth with troubles, the troubles will accompany you. And if you associate growth with comforts, the comforts will be available to you because that's one thing your subconscious mind will entertain time and again. So, one, choose the comfortable life. Start believing that it's possible. Look at the possibility of growing in a comfortable way. And the third one, forgive yourself for the troubles you have given to others. I've even regressed 60-year-old man who cried bitterly, say how much my mother suffered when she was pregnant with me. Can you imagine? The guilt that we carry sometimes, which is so unknown, but it's at the subconscious mind level. So if you want to uh, lead really a comfortable life, maybe it would be a good idea to affirm that I forgive myself for troubling others. We all have troubled our parents, mother, father, they did probably never saw this as a trouble, but obviously you've kept your mother awake throughout the night on some special days when you were not well or you cried throughout the night. Now, not that she would complain, or maybe she would complain, but it begins from there. There would be so many people we have troubled. The teachers whom you have teased at times, I've done it a lot. Um, we sometimes play pranks and trouble. We trouble our siblings at times in a very innocent way. However, sometimes you do end up borrowing that guilt or just carrying it forward rather than forgiving. If you haven't forgiven yourself for troubling others, it would be a good idea to now forgive yourself for troubling others. And when you forgive, you open up to the possibility of leading a very, very beautiful and trouble free life. And finally, choose how you respond to a given set of situation. Even if there is a troublesome possibilities, it's up to you what you want to do. For example, you got a fever. Okay. Obviously, considering the current scenario, the first thought, oh my God, what if I have that C disease? And the mind goes on a trouble trip. Now it's up to you. Do you want to spend this days of isolation and trouble, or do you want to make the most out of this isolated phase of life? It's completely your choice. How do you want to do that? So finally, choose your response because it's not the external story that troubles you so much. It's your response that troubles you so much. That explains why people on the streets don't feel hassled and troubled, and people traveling comfortably in the high-end cars can feel troubled. Comforts, which are just physical comforts, may not give you comforts, but your choice of remaining comfortable can give you comforts irrespective of external comforts. So finally, it is your choice of enjoying the comforts of life, responding in a comfortable way, ensuring that you are comfortable and knowing that you deserve a comfortable life will ensure enough comforts and minimum or bare minimum troubles. I'm not saying that troubles will not come. So called troubles will come and go. It's how you label, it's how you react, and what you do out of that. And that will shape your future troubles. So, all the best. I think that's all from my end today. I will just quickly have a look at everybody's comment. And hello, Mudita. Lovely. Hi, Mamta. Hi, Geeta, Babu, Alka, Zishan. Wow. Nice to have you guys here. And trust this talk will go a long way. And you'll resolve today to lead a trouble free life. Maybe by weekend, I will publish some of the statements that can help you in leading a very, very comfortable life. All the best and have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye.